Greetings, justice seekers. Welcome to Justice, Not Justice, Season 1. I'm about to take control of this shit show, which she has at this point. Okay, so we've just had our first hearing, official hearing in front of a commissioner, out of which came a remarkably bogus set of orders that are going to make it, basically setting Jeremiah up for failure, making it very difficult for him to do it. And I'm not saying that this commissioner did this intentionally, but definitely as we move forward through this process and interact with various other court officials, whether they're commissioners or judges, it's very clear that they're really not thinking about what they're ordering. They're not thinking it through. They're not thinking about the implications. They're not thinking about the practicality. They're not thinking about creating an environment that someone can succeed in. And consistently, Jeremiah gets orders that he cannot fulfill. So again, a little bit of a foreshadowing, frequently has been in front of a judge for contempt. That's the consequence of not following an order. Jeremiah also, Jamie never followed an order, never followed any orders. She didn't pay the mortgage as she was ordered to do, and Jeremiah attempted on multiple occasions to have her found in contempt for not following any of the orders, and never was he ever able to be heard. They were always denied. Okay, so during this hearing in March, a guardian ad litem is appointed. Enter Lisa Bangert, super lawyer, advocate. This is according to her. She's the guardian ad litem that's being appointed to this case. Jeremiah's attorney is really pleased by this. He says she's the best GAL in the state, if not for sure in Milwaukee County. So he's really good, he says. So that makes me feel a little bit better, because like, okay, maybe now finally somebody's going to actually objectively look at what is going to be presented to them and make some decisions about the children that are not based on hysteria and lies and so forth and so on. This is theoretically her role, is to be objective and be thinking about the kids. And again, I'm going to foreshadow, it turns out that she was completely uninterested in the interests of the kids, and for some queer reason became quite an ally of Jamie's. Okay, so we get a notification from the attorney, make an appointment to go visit with her. So we went to visit with her sometime maybe early April. Had an hour visit, explained the situation. I went with Jeremiah because he gets nervous and he doesn't speak well. He gets flustered. And she seemed to really understand. She heard all of what basically I've been telling you. And, was like, okay. So then she had to meet as well with Jamie and with the kids, of course, to, do her investigation and whatever. But we left, I left the meeting feeling pretty optimistic. Jeremiah didn't tell me at the time, but he said he knew right away from the very beginning that she didn't like him. Now, Jeremiah, so here we are, Jeremiah obviously on whatever, I can't tell because it's turned around, and Jamie. He's a black man, and he can look mean if you want to see him looking mean. I mean, does he look mean? It's just his look, but he's more used to being judged like that than I am, and he said he knew right away that she did not like him and did not have any intentions of advocating for the children in a fair way, and he turned out to be absolutely right. But anyway, we met with her, and after our meeting, I compiled an envelope, a box full of all of the evidence of everything that I've been sharing here. I have all of it, and I gave it all to her. So now she knows exactly what has happened and why we are where we are now. And whether or not she looked at it, she certainly billed Jeremiah for looking at it, but it didn't influence her one iota, not even a smidge. So again, you'll see in future videos that she was all Team Jamie, all Team Jamie. F those kids really is what it boils down to, but oh boy, she is definitely on Jamie's team and very anti Jeremiah, which how could you be if you're objective and you hear and see what you all have heard and seen? It doesn't make any sense. We didn't know that at the time. Okay, so anyway, she continues with her thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Meantime, Jeremiah is trying to, do visitation with his kids. And again, you have to understand how angry he is by the way things are going. I'm not going to reiterate it, but he's been up the, yeah. Okay, so he goes to the house frequently. He feels like it's his house, which it is, and that he has a right to, inspect it, look at the garden, check on the lawn, whatever. Whether or not that's true is neither here nor there, but he does that. He goes over to the house from sometimes here and there, and maybe pops up to say hey to the kids, whatever. So Jamie decides that she doesn't like that. And now, since she's terrified of him, just a quick aside on that, they've been together for 16, 18 years by this point, and there has never been one single call to the police about domestic violence, fear, nothing. Matter of fact, let's go back to before the divorce was even a possibility, and he's the best daddy in the whole wide world. I love how he paints my daughter's fingernails. He's just amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing. So now all of a sudden she's terrified of him. And again, if you want to look at the possibility that he's a scary black man and she's a meek, timid white woman, it's pretty easy. This is a pretty easy narrative to tell, and she does all the time. Like, this is the thing that she decides is going to cause her to win, and she's right. And it's disgusting because she knows what she's doing, and her children are mixed, and she is jumping on the coattails of every stereotype about black men and exploiting them, and it's disgusting. So what does she do? On April 23rd, she goes down and files another restraining order against Jeremiah. What's it about? Coming to the house, pounding, screaming, blah, blah. I'm terrified. All this. Calls and texts me all the time. Says he doesn't care about me. He's yelling and screaming at the kids. Then she brings up the incidents from earlier in the year that of the restraining order that she decided to drop. She's bringing them up again in this one. That on the 2nd of December, remember the freak out video or audio or her screaming and I hate you, I want to die, on all that kind of thing. Jeremiah and I went to dinner. He got extremely upset and left me. When he finally picked me up, he was heavily intoxicated and angry. He was speeding on the streets and driving recklessly. He pushed me against the window and choked me. I was able to get away. So we've already analyzed that. We already know all about that. Then sometime in January, belligerent and drunk, yelling and screaming, saying he's going to break my phone, that he's going to kick us out of the house, blah, blah, blah. Then again on the 30th, which was when she started to set the stage, remember the audio of I'm about to trump up some abuse charges, not only toward you, but your girlfriend too. And then she did do those things, as we know now. So she says that again on that day when she was leaving, and don't touch me, don't touch me. During a fight, he grabbed my neck and shoulder and pushed me. And again, we've already analyzed that, and we know that that didn't happen. So this goes to hearing. and fortunately is dismissed due to lack of evidence. Do you think that stops her? See you soon.